Everyone. I'm so glad that we have this time to talk about job searching internationally and in the US as an international student. And I want to introduce you to this platform called GoinGlobal. It is a paid prescription from the university, and so we want to make sure you understand how to use it and feel like you have full access to this platform. And so we're going to start off with just a demonstration, and we're a small group today, so if you have questions along the way, please let me know. I know that some of y'all have used the platform already, and so if you have questions about details once we get into it, please let us know. All right, well, I'm Sara Parrott. I'm the Assistant Director of Welcome and Belonging with International Students and Scholars, and I'm here with Nick Pevato.
How's it going, everyone? Glad to be here. I think I know most of you, but for those either watching the recording afterwards, I'm an international student advisor here at the University of Arkansas.
All right, so between the two of us, we're going to give this demonstration. We're going to start out with a screen share, and Nick is going to show you, first of all, how to access the platform. So when you do basically anything career related through the university, you're going to start off with Handshake. Nick, you're not sharing yet, so go ahead and share your screen.
There we go.
Thank you. All right, so you're going to sign up for Handshake or log in. And when you log in, you'll be connected to the University of Arkansas Handshake page. And the university's tailored this platform to talk about things that are relevant to this community. Could be career fairs upcoming, could be specific job opportunities that employers have reached out to the university about. But for now, we're going to go to the Career Center. That's on the left side of the navigation. And then from here, go down to resources. It's one of those tiles at the top. And this will bring you into lots of different employment opportunities or different platforms or different things that the university has highlighted. So one thing that you'll see right at the top, that third option is International Job Search and H-1B Guide. So right now, Nick's going to click on that. And this takes you to a landing page where you can get to know a little bit about GoinGlobal and then click on that top link. And this will give you access to the platform, again, through the university's paid account. So once you're here, this is what GoinGlobal looks like. You can do a lot without creating a login, and you can just click around and just sort of see what's out there. You can also create a login, and that you can do that by going up to the top, and you'll see there is, personal account login. Now, we're not going to take time to do that today, but I just want to highlight that because if you want to use this as your way to save job posts and come back to them later, or there are also some skills assessments that you can take and you need to be logged in for that, but you don't have to pay for any of the services because we already pay for that subscription, but you do need to just log in, like create your own account so that you have a profile available through the account. All right, so I'm going to show you a few features here. Now, GoinGlobal, as the name suggests, is a platform to look for jobs internationally and also for international students who are in the US to have a little more insight into the US job search. So we're going to look at a variety of the options for searching, and we're going to start off with just the job search. So I'm actually going to take control now, Nick, so I can navigate on this page. And you'll see if we scroll down, a bit slow, I think, when I'm taking over. But I'm going to click on this job search option right at the top. And let's just spend some time together doing something. So someone tell me what they want to do together. Let's give us a keyword for a job.
You can already see what I typed in, politics. I'm a political science master's program, but do any of the students have something particularly that they'd want to search?
Materials engineer.
Okay, nice, Eugene. Yeah, let's see that one.
All right. Now let's just pick a country that you might be interested in going to. Could be the US or it could be globally.
Canada.
Yeah, there we go, Eugene. Great answer. I'm a Canadian, so I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
All right. And any specific city, Eugene?
Toronto.
Great choice.
Okay, so let's just see what pulls up here. All right, so from here you can look at all of these different job postings. So this is maybe similar to other job posting sites that you've seen before, but again, it just gives you the ability to really sort by location. You can also do an advanced search. So let's go back here. And you can, be a little bit more specific. Maybe there's a particular job title or a company that you're interested in, and so you can filter your search a little bit more. We're going to go back and click on one of these. Let's just start with this top one, software development engineer. And I want to show you from here, it does take you off the platform to the job posting that the company used. So do know that once you click on the job, you're outside of Going Global, and from here you just need to job search based on your own criteria, like what are you looking for, what qualifications do they have, and then this just gives you an option for a job to look into, and then you can apply often through the platform that they give you. Oh, and look, it actually opened it in a new tab. I didn't notice that before. So if you want to go back, you can go to that tab that we just came from. Now, if you're logged in, you can save this posting to your Going Global page so that if you want to just remember what you were searching for or come back to it later, then you can save that to come back to. We're not logged in right now, so it's not going to let us do that, but that is a feature that you have access to. Okay, so something else that I wanted to show you was if you're looking for, let's say you do want a job in Toronto. One of these seem interesting, but you don't really know much about the culture of Toronto or the business practices, or you just want to get a little more info on the industry of material engineering within Toronto. So this is another really great part of Going Global, which are the career guides. Sorry, Nick, when I scroll down, it really jumps really fast. So could you scroll down a little bit for me?
Yep.
Okay. Actually, I think instead of, that top one is what I'm looking for. Yeah. Okay, so you can look, I think Toronto is going to be a global city. So you can either search by country just to learn cultural norms of a whole country, or you can look at a specific city. So let's dive into the global cities. And we're going to check out Toronto. Look right there, pops up. You can see some other cities in Canada have been highlighted for us. But this is where you can really get to know the job market in Toronto. And I think this is what lets Going Global stand out among other job searching platforms, because they're going to give you insight into what you need. So, from my international perspective, one thing I'm drawn to right away is work permits and visas. I only know very little about what it takes to work in Canada, so let's explore that. If we click on getting the job, work permits and visas, let's see what it says. So it gives us an overview. It talks about the application process, visa types, resources, legal considerations. So you can tell that this is going to give you a lot of information. Let's start off with this overview. And we're just going to skim this, but you'll see that this gives you a good first picture of like, what does it take to actually work legally in the country that you're interested in. And so you can read through it and see if that seems accessible to you, or there might be a country where you have a good job lead or there's something there, but then you see that, oh, their immigration system is rather difficult to jump through. Maybe for some countries you have to speak the language that locally, and so then you would find that out here, and then that would say, okay, well, that's either for me or not, right? So then you can decide to go from there. Let's go back to the city or the that guide there. So I just searched. Sorry, you're gonna have to help me.
Yeah, no problem.
Go up and down. There we go.
Mhm.
So I just searched on that work permits, but you can see there's a ton of other information specifically related to job searching. Let's look at the resume, CV, cover letter, and then maybe the interview advice. Either one of those, Vic.
Yeah, maybe we'll do interview.
Yeah.
Let's go the interview, I think. That'd
Let's
be
look
cool.
at it. Yeah. So again, this is specific to Toronto. This is what they're looking for and what the typical hiring process looks like in Toronto. And so you can skim through. I mean, we're talking about Toronto, so it might be pretty similar to a US city. But if you're looking for, another culture that you're not as familiar with, these are going to give you really good insights into what to do to prepare, what the interview might look like. What kind of interview style, the duration of the interview. And so again, this is just information for you to then prepare for the interview or to decide, okay, this isn't for me. Or maybe it gets you even more excited about living in this city once you dive into it a little bit more.
Yeah, I really
Common
like this
interview
common interview
questions. That's
questions. Yeah,
awesome.
that's really good. Yeah.
Okay, let's go back again, Nick, to that page that we just came from. So it gives some specific career advice, but you also want to learn about living in the city. And this is what's fun, I think, to explore. Well, before we do that, I just want to point out they have professional and personal networking. So you can get to know what are the people in the area, talk about the like professional associations and things that you can get involved in before you get that job, because we know that networking and getting your foot in the door and learning, like meeting someone from the area, from the industry, is really big part of job searching in most cultures. So check that out as well. But let's look at living there. And Nick, you can just click on whatever looks interesting to you.
Yeah, maybe city overview.
Okay. So from here, where do we want to dive in?
I'll try, let's see, recreation, a little work-life balance. Toronto, I'm not from there, but I know it's quite the beautiful city. Cold in the winter, but very nice. So you want to see what you can do when you're, not in the office or on the weekends or something like that. So yeah.
Yeah, so here you get an overview. You can see if there are any beaches. You can see kind of what you can do in your free time, just to
Sport.
have more context for your application. And then this also helps you in the interview as well, because they'll probably ask, why are you interested in living in Toronto? If you're not from here. So that could give you an insight into the interview, a question for the interview as well.
Super interesting. Maybe to the people, I think that would be interesting as well. It's very multicultural city.
Definitely.
All the different languages. So
Yeah, so it breaks down the demographics, so you can kind of see like what types of people live there. So again, they have this for so many cities throughout the world. They also have it for cities in the US. So this is where I want to go back to one of the earlier, let's go back again. So and maybe back one more time. Okay, so we were just in the global cities, but let's look at US cities, because let's imagine that you want to try to use your OPT in the US. So let's click there and let's choose one of these cities. So does any of these cities stand out to you?
Memphis.
All right, great, great culture in Memphis. So let's check that out. So you'll see some of it is very similar, where you can scroll. Let's first go back to culture. Let's go all the way down to the bottom. And Yeah, let's just look at cultural advice for Memphis. So we're going to look at office conduct. And this is where you can kind of get to know, like, what are the expectations of office workers? What does a workplace look like in general? And just get some high level ideas about what you might be getting into going to Memphis. We clicked on a kind of boring one, but I'm sure like the recreation page on Memphis would be really interesting, talking about all the different museums and music and culture that's happening in Memphis. Would be really cool. They've got Graceland, so they would give you all that insight about what to do and what to see. So this is great. I mean, Memphis is going to be a little bit similar to like Arkansas a little bit, but it is interesting to like learn about addressing people as, Miss so and so or, Mr. so and so. That's a big deal in a lot of US regions. So you can talk about business meals, gift giving. There's just a ton of stuff that you can dive into there.
Golf. Take up some golf. Yeah. Very interesting.
All right, let's go back a page. Now, this is where if we scroll up, if you're looking in the US, let's say you want a job in Memphis, this is another great aspect of Going Global. They give you OPT and H-1B information about that city. So let's start with OPT. If you'll click on that, Nick. And let's click on OPT employers. So
this is awesome.
Yeah, these are the top companies that have H-1Bs that do OPT or that have had OPT, have had students who are on OPT working for their company. And they're all in alphabetical order, and they link directly to the current job openings. So that's pretty sweet. And you can just, click from there and see what headquarters are in that city and see what might be available for you.
Very cool.
So it looks like Nick wants to work at Adidas.
Yeah.
See what they have there. So again, often once you click on the job, anything about the company, it takes you off the Going Global page, but it still gives you, direct access to their job listing pages, and you can see what they've got there. All right, let's also take a look at, even from here, it links to the View H-1B listings. Let's see what that shows.
Oh, it does. Sorry. Yeah, let me go back. Oh, sorry. We'll go back to Adidas.
Right. So this kind of gets us away from Memphis, but when we're looking at Adidas, this is the information from, it looks like 2023, of all of the H-1B recipients for Adidas. So you can see what the job title is, where they're located, and that gives you some really good insight where you can kind of get into the details of where you want to work, showing how much they're paid. That's super valuable when it comes to negotiation, where you can see like generally what people are valued at. So this is great. And so you can do this by city like we just did. You can also do it, click over, click back, Nick. And again, I think if we click on the H-1B, let's actually not do that. I think that's going to take us where we just were for Memphis specifically. So let's go back again, because you can also look for H-1B sponsorships more broadly. Keep going back. Okay, so scroll down here, and this is again our home page. And from here, you can go directly to H-1B OPT. And then so this H-1B Plus is going to show you what jobs are sponsoring H-1 per city. So this is where you could do even more searching, like by the state, by the city, by the metro area. So it's going to get you similar to where we just were, but it's just another way to access it with maybe more specific, like more advanced search settings, if that makes sense. Okay. So the final thing I want to show you is an employer directory search. And this can be useful specifically, like, let's say you have a conference in pick a country, pick a city, a global city.
What about New York? Big Apple.
Okay. All right. So you've got a conference in New York. If you use this employer directory, now New York is it's going to be a little flooded with like tons of opportunities. But we can still try it. Okay, so let's say you have a conference in New York and you have a couple extra days and you think, well, I want to try to use my time in New York, not just at the conference, but maybe I can meet with an employer or just see who's there. So this is where you can search by your industry and then select a location. And it'll give you a list. So Nick, you can just make something up and we'll get to a list there. But it'll show you what are the major employers in that city, so that maybe you could do some research and reach out and say, hey, I'm in the city for this conference. I'd like to meet with someone to learn more about the company culture. So that just gives you a place to start when you're looking at maybe making some of those contacts.
Is company also a mandatory field?
No.
Okay.
Like you can skip the rest of that. Okay, so they've got one, I'm surprised to see that, one aircraft manufacturing. I guess that is pretty specific. So you can click on this company name. I don't know if that takes you to their website. Okay, no, it still just gives you an overview of the company and with access to their website there. So there may be circumstances where this feature is helpful. And you can play around with it, especially if you're going to travel somewhere, just to see what companies are there. But really, I think you're going to get the most out of this platform through the city guides and through the OPT and H-1B employment information, just to see who is actually sponsoring, who has, and then see like what are the salary ranges and like what job descriptions you might be looking for at those companies. Well, this concludes the specific things that I was going to talk with you about. But I'd love to hear if you have any questions about things that you are interested in or want to look more at together. We'll have time for that.
I don't have any question because using the city guides is way better than using the search thing that I was doing. Like the city guide is more specific and like give you more information than doing it in your own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good. I agree. I think the city guides are really interesting. I lived in St. Louis for a while and I was reading the city guide just to see what they were about. And I was like, yeah, this is spot on. Like the particulars of St. Louis, they really captured. So I think that it would be worth spending your time on to see, just to learn more about it and then search specifically for the job postings that are there. Okay, well, I'm just curious if you could use a gesture, maybe the thumbs up or put it in the chat, but do you think that you will use Going Global as part of your job search? Yeah, we got Eugene, thumbs up. Yeah, okay, great. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. But spend some time playing around with it. If you have questions, let me know. The offices of Career Connections are also trained in how to use Going Global. They have a lot of other resources as well for you. So please make sure that you're using them throughout your career search. And then when it comes time to apply for H-1B, Nick is your guy, and ISS has a lot of resources for you to learn more about the immigration side of working while you're finished with your degree. So we'll see you next time for more information on that.
Thanks, everybody. Good seeing everyone.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.